Alrighty, since everyone's finishing the quiz at separate times, I thought I'll give you your instructions on what to do when you're done with the quiz this way today. So what I want you to do is log in. You've already logged into Schoology because you're watching this video. And we're going to start previewing what is going to happen now in Module 2. There's an awful lot action-packed even into this first lesson. It's a ton about exponents, integer exponents, scientific notation, powers of 10, lots and lots of stuff to do. The good news is for a little bit today, you'll get to use a calculator. Whew, that should make you feel better. So first things first, what I would like to do is have you turn in your textbook to page 29. And at the beginning of each module, there's a short video called a real world video that explains a little bit on what we're going to do in this module and how it relates to the real world today. So let's take a look at it. It's really brief. I'll play it here together so we can watch it and get it full screen. And here we go.
Have you ever wondered how far away the moon, the planet Saturn, or even the nearest star is to us here on Earth? Well, scientists do know. The moon is 240,000 miles away. Saturn, 745 million miles away. The closest star to our solar system, Proxima Centauri, is 25 trillion miles away. I can't even imagine how far that is.
In addition, how on earth do they measure that? It's not like anybody drove there, right?
Anyway, if scientists had to write out all those zeros every time, they'd run out of room on their notepads or computer screen and waste a lot of time. Luckily, there's an easy way to write out really big or really small numbers called scientific notation without all those zeros. Here's how it works. Really large or really small numbers are written as a product of a number between 1 and 10 and a power of 10. The distance to the moon is rewritten from 240,000 miles to 2.4 times 10 to the 5th miles. The distance to Saturn becomes 7.45 times 10 to the 8th miles. And Proxima Centauri is now 2.5 times 10 to the 13th miles away. That's a lot easier than writing out all those zeros. Like stars and planets, numbers come in all sizes, and we need an easy way to represent them all. And that's why knowing math matters.
Of course it does. Of course it does. So here, as a preview as to what we're going to be diving into, there's kind of a two-part thing that I want you to use for some exploration today. First of all, on the next page, page 30, I believe in your book, is this first, are you ready? Okay, now, I know your tendency is to dive right in and to do this, but take a moment to look at their explanation and their hints here as you do these short 12 problems here, especially these hints in the blue. It's going to explain to you how to do that in an easier, and once you notice the pattern, then it becomes much, much easier to do, okay? Don't use a calculator on that. You can read through that, zoom. Really, once you get the hang of it, it won't take you very long at all. Right after that, on page 31, is the reading startup with some of our key vocabulary words. Again, over here, as it starts talking here, read your directions. It says use the checked words right here to complete this diagram, okay? They're calling this a Venn diagram, interesting, okay? And it says you can put more than one word in each section. So read through those. Use your glossary in the back of the book if you need to, and fill this out, as well as understanding the vocabulary. This part says use the preview words. Those are here. Again, your glossary is in the back of the book if you choose to go there if these words you're just not comfortable with. Then, once you get done with that, because honestly that shouldn't take too terribly long, then what I want you to do is make sure that in the front of the room you grab the worksheet. Okay, when you grab the worksheet, it is kind of an exploration and a lab that looks like this, having to deal with integer exponents. And here's the beauty. Yes, you can use a calculator on this part. I specifically want you to use a calculator on this part, okay? Before you get to this though, here's what I want to make sure that you remember is when we're using the TI-30 multi-views, and the reason that I have you choose that is because that's the one that's used on all of our standardized tests, okay? So you may have a regular TI-30 or a Casio or a different product. However, the one that's used on the MCA test is the tool that I want you to be most familiar with. And because of that, then I want you to use the calculators in the back of the room that I have, or if you have one that looks like this, great. I have an emulator linked on my webpage for the Minnesota test, and so I'm going to get this up. I don't think that this calculator works on a phone. They haven't quite gotten that that hurdle cleared. Okay, so first of all, on this calculator and on today's assignment, you're going to do a lot with exponents, and it's not just going to be to the second power. Okay, I might ask you to do 5 to the 5th power or something, or 5 to the 4th. So use this inverted check V or whatever, we call it a caret sometimes. That's your exponent. If I said find 5 to the 4th power, there you go. It'll crank it out for you, okay? You also need to know how to change things from fractions to decimals. So for example, and I'll do one of these for you. If I said what's 10 to the 3rd power, you can check it this way. I'm going to ask you to do some negative exponents. So simply type in your base, hit that button for putting in the power or the exponent here. Let's say I said put in -2. Make sure you use this sign down here at the bottom. Okay, this negative sign. 10 to the -2. Well, the way my settings are is it gives me the fraction. That's really cool. But if you want to convert between fraction and decimal, if you simply come over here to the second button and then hit this button, that F to D, that's one way to get there. And then you can toggle back and forth that way. Also though, there's another handy dandy button, which I'm trying to see if I can get down here. This one that has the double arrows like this, if you just start pushing that back and forth, it automatically converts fraction to decimal mode. That one is super handy. All right. So those are some key tools for you to be able to utilize when you're doing this exploration on the worksheet. The worksheet has 2 sides, so continue on the back side as well. Look for patterns and good luck. And as always, may the force be with you.